A little boy was just splashed by two gang thugs. He demanded the two thugs come apologize to him. The two thugs saw he was just a young kid. They looked back dismissively. Then one of the thugs got up and walked over to make the boy pay for his arrogance. Before he could finish his threats, the boy grabbed him by the hair. Let go. Don't come any closer, let go quickly. Eastwater Gang is this a newly formed gang? Not speaking respectfully to me, it hurts. Who would have thought this boy, who wasn't even afraid of gang thugs, would actually be bullied by classmates at school? After day of torment, he finally couldn't bear it and chose to jump off a bridge to commit suicide. When he saw a large truck approaching ahead, he decisively jumped out. Fortunately, a gang boss below the bridge discovered him in time and saved him, but unexpectedly, just as the gang boss set up, another large truck came. But this didn't kill the gang boss. However, when the gang boss woke up, he found he had actually become the bridge jumping boy. At first, he thought he was dreaming, until his subordinate Dong Zhu came to find him for an explanation. Only then did he realize this wasn't a dream. His subordinate brought him to his memorial tablet to have him apologize to Boss Deok-pal and thank the boss for saving his life. Deok-pal couldn't accept this for a moment. Who said I died? Who allowed you to hold a funeral? I'm not dead, I'm still alive and well. His subordinate thought the boy was insulting the boss and angrily wanted to kill him. Fortunately, the chairman nearby didn't want more trouble. Stop the subordinate in time. I told you to get lost, brat. That cemetery plot, return it and get the money back. I will come back alive. Who wants you to come back? The one who should come back is my boss. Seeing this situation, Deok-pal realized that he and the boy must have swapped souls. So he rushed straight to the morgue wanting to swap souls back. But how could he know how to swap souls? He could only helplessly hug his own corpse, hoping for a miracle. The person has already passed away. Whether holding hands or hugging, it's useless. He won't come back. Unless time could be reversed, unless we could go back to the past. Hearing this, Deok-pal immediately thought of a way to swap souls. That night he ran to the overpass. He naively thought that jumping again like the boy would let him go back to the past. But the result, when he woke up this time, not only hadn't the souls swapped back, he had also injured one foot. He was anxious to find his own body, but the doctor told him, since he had been unconscious for 3 days, Deok-pal's body had already been cremated, and the funeral was over. He could now only live using the boy's body. Just as he wondered why the boy's suicide, such a big matter, didn't bring the boy's family to visit, a woman walked into the hospital room. At first he thought the woman was the boy's mother. Do you and your mother have some opinion of me? If not, why do you both want to torment me so much? In the middle of the night, why were you in that place? Your mother told you to do this, didn't she? Do you think the chairman would come to see you too? If he knew about this, are you doing this just to get attention? The woman complained for a while and then left. To better understand the boy's situation, Deok-pal found the boy's tablet. After unlocking it with face recognition, it opened to the boy's diary. From the diary, he learned the boy was named Song Ri-heon. The reason he wanted to commit suicide was because of long-term bullying. At first, the school bully forced him to steal alcohol from home. Later, he was forced to steal jewelry from home. When he said there was nothing left to steal at home, the bully made him steal cigarettes from stores. Any disobedience would result in a beating in his dark world. His classmate Se-kyung was a ray of light in his heart. He had always wanted to become friends with Se-kyung, but because the bully caught him looking at Se-kyung, the bully spread rumors that he was a stalker. This made it even harder for him to make friends when he had none to begin with. Over time, he finally couldn't bear it and chose suicide. After reading the boy's diary, Deok-pal couldn't suppress his anger. He angrily shattered the tablet. All right, I finally understand. Why am I so leered your body? I'm going to school. Let me borrow your body so that when you return, you can live a normal life. I will defeat them all. Deok-pal immediately packed and went to Ri-heon's home. As soon as he entered, someone came forward with concern. It seemed to be the housekeeper. From the housekeeper, he learned it. The woman who complained in the hospital room was the chairman's secretary. The one lying on the sofa was his mother. During dinner, he asked the housekeeper why his mother was sleeping in the living room. The housekeeper said since his incident, the secretary often came to the house, each time bringing lots of alcohol. She suspected the secretary was intentionally trying to make Ri-heon's mother dependent on alcohol, because Ri-heon was the chairman's illegitimate son and the chairman's only son. Plus, recently the chairman's wife was hospitalized, reportedly with little time left. If the chairman's wife died, Ri-heon's mother would likely become the new chairman's wife. The secretary was surely afraid of Ri-heon's mother rising to power. OK Construction is one of our country's top construction companies. With the chairman absent, the secretary holds great power. The driver sent this time monitors your mother all day. I really don't know if your mother will unknowingly. Oh, you just got discharged. I talk too much. From this, Ri-heon and his mother's situation was very dangerous. But for Deok-pal, who had been in organized crime for decades, this was nothing, since Deok-pal wanted Ri-heon to live a normal life. He had to change everything from the beginning, so he went to a barbershop and got a student haircut, and changed his outfit, then came to the library. While browsing around, Dayboy knocked over his crutch. Sorry, jeez, really? Be more careful next time, okay? It turned out this boy was Se-kyung since Ri-heon's long hair had previously covered half his face. He had never clearly seen what Ri-heon looked like. Plus, Ri-heon treated him like a stranger, so seeing the boy who resembled Ri-heon, he didn't dare recognize him. But when the teacher called roll on the school day, Se-kyung realized he was Ri-heon. The whole class was seeing Ri-heon's true appearance for the first time. Everyone was talking that Song Ri-heon. Is that the Song Ri-heon I know, really? Is that what he actually looks like? Super handsome. As soon as the teacher left, the school bully got up and came to Ri-heon. He asked Ri-heon why he didn't reply to his messages. Did you miss me too? What? Obviously, his casual attitude made the bully unhappy. So the bully called his followers to bully Ri-heon. But Ri-heon didn't take these immature kids seriously at all. The followers couldn't believe Ri-heon could still laugh. Seeing Ri-heon's arrogant manner made the bully even angrier. I fell from the overpass. You pushed me, didn't you? You fell down yourself. Why blame me? Hey, you tormented me like that. It's like you pushed me down. You killed me crazy. Let go. Ri-heon told them to make it quick. The blonde made the first move. Ri-heon easily counterattacked. This skill shocked everyone. You brat. Can't throw him. If this were my body, he wouldn't be worth one punch. Hearing you tell us to attack first, I was scared. I thought he had become a different person. I won't let you bully me anymore. I am Jin Deba-pal, second in command of the 7-star gang. I am Jin Deba-pal. Damn, so slow. This kick knocked Ri-heon unconscious. When he woke up again, Se-kyung appeared in front of him. Seeing that Ri-heon was injured, he brought Ri-heon to the medical room to treat his wounds. While treating the wound, he questioned Ri-heon why he pretended not to know him at the library. Weren't they good friends? Ri-heon quickly explained that jumping off the bridge had damaged his brain, and he had lost many memories, but this couldn't fool Se-kyung. Actually, they weren't friends at all. Se-kyung was deliberately testing Ri-heon. Didn't you threaten me? You came to my house and said if I didn't do as you said, you would tell everyone my true nature. Is he talking about the day Song Ri-heon fell from the overpass? Did he see Choi Se-kyung that day? I know Song Ri-heon's nature better than most people, because Song Ri-heon spent nearly 2 years stalking and monitoring me closely. Ri-heon suddenly remembered the diary. What was recorded was almost the same as what Se-kyung said. Se-kyung also told Ri-heon not to try to get away with such a poor excuse of amnesia. Even if his height, build, and appearance were exactly the same as the real Ri-heon, his behavior couldn't fool anyone. You're not Song Ri-heon, are you? People change when big things happen. Even with big events, people don't change. People do change. You'll understand when you reach my age. Are we the same age? My parents registered my birth very late. Ri-heon was afraid of saying more mistakes and quickly ended the topic. But his performance in PE class still exposed him. Perfect score and facing the teacher's praise. He kept flattering the teacher. You should know Ri-heon was always quiet, let alone flattering teachers. This made Se-kyung even more certain of his thoughts. After PE class, Ri-heon noticed the secretary suddenly came to school. He quickly caught up and pulled the secretary to an empty place. Asking why the secretary suddenly came to school, it turned out he had spent quite a bit with his unlimited credit card. The secretary wanted to limit his spending, so she came to school to organize his files, preparing to send him to boarding school. Is this the chairman's idea? The old man is so stingy. Just spending a little money, and he complains. He used to act and beg me. Now he won't even act. Have you decided to act freely now? If I really acted freely, you couldn't handle it. You ungrateful brat. Still talking back. Did you raise this child? I heard the chairman's wife is dying. If the legitimate wife dies, her position will be my mother's. So you're anxious. If you want to act high and mighty, please continue. Taking this opportunity, I'm also preparing to act like the chairman's son. Where I go is decided by me, not you. After Ri-heon finished speaking, he yanked off the secretary's sunglasses and threw them on the ground, then stomped them to pieces and warned the secretary that if she appeared at his school again, the secretary would end up like the sunglasses. This made the secretary furious. She immediately arranged for her subordinate to deal with Ri-heon unexpectedly. This subordinate was actually Dongju, one of Deba-pal's former subordinates. Dongju sent swapping souls. Ri-heon, with Deba-pal's naturally friendly personality, quickly became close with female classmates he had never spoken to before. Just as they were chatting happily, Se-kyung suddenly appeared and interrupted them. So what does it mean? This is endless. Pure, isn't it just pure study time? And why do I always feel like he doesn't know? How could I not know? Of course I know. This wasn't the end. While explaining problems to Ri-heon, Se-kyung deliberately interrupted midway. What's your real name? This fox. Is this why you came to evening study? Song Ri-heon didn't fall for it. It's not that I didn't fall for it. Because I am Song Ri-heon, there's nothing to fall for. Got it wrong. The real Ri-heon would never look at me with those eyes. Ri-heon really couldn't understand. Why Se-kyung kept fixating on his identity that night. Se-jing dreamed of the scene where Ri-heon threatened him. Please help me if it were you. You should be able to do it. I don't want it then. I'll also tell others your true nature. What exactly are you trying to say because it's all fake? That day not knowing what could make Se-jing so afraid. Ever since Ri-heon was beaten up by the school bully last time, he realized his body was really weak. So he began intense training to completely escape bullying. First, he had to improve his physical condition that day when Ri-heon finished working out and went to the bathish. He encountered two arrogant gang thugs after he taught these two thugs a lesson and left the bathish. He even gave each of them to Bill's take care, big brother. Right after Ri-heon left, Deok-pal's subordinate fat brother came with the school bully and his lackey, saying they wanted to join the Dongsu gang, asking the two subordinates to guide them well. Just after giving instructions, Deok-pal's other subordinate Dongsu also came over. Unexpectedly, Dongsu had now become the boss of the Dongsu gang. Boss, just now there was a brat who claimed to be Deok-pal brother from the 7-star gang. He beat us up even though the 7-star gang has disbanded. The 7-star gang is still our roots if he's still alive. Deok-pal brother would be our boss, anyone related to that brother. Better not touch. When Ri-heon returned home, he found Se-jing had come uninvited. He really couldn't understand why Se-jing was so persistent. What are you here for? I came to help you with homework. I know what I'm doing, go back. Mock exam is coming soon and you still say you know what you're doing. Aren't you afraid of getting it wrong, madam? Madam, what should I do? It's starting again. The first room you see after going upstairs is my room. Go up and wait for me first. While Ri-heon was settling his mother, Se-jing quickly ran to Ri-heon's room and searched through everything. But he was caught red-handed by Ri-heon coming to my house and searching everywhere. Did you think I hid Song Ri-heon somewhere? Where is Song Ri-heon? Hey, why exactly? Are you so obsessed with the old me? The old you? It's because I want to say something to the old you. Not to the current you. Say it to me that. Are you so satisfied with school life that you stole someone else's life like this? Ri-heon said if Se-jing kept obsessing over this issue, he should leave immediately. But Se-jing wouldn't let go. If you're really Song Ri-heon, then prove it to me. What did you do to Song Ri-heon? Did you kill him? Ri-heon couldn't take it anymore. Why are you so obsessed with Song Ri-heon? Did something happen that day that I've forgotten? What did you do to Song Ri-heon? I just feel you took away what should have belonged to him and deceived the classmates you want everyone to see. That even if Song Ri-heon disappeared, no one would look for him. I just don't want you to do whatever you want. Then why didn't you find him earlier? Before he jumped off the overpass. He jumped off after meeting you that day. And then what happened to Song Ri-heon? Ri-heon's mother had another breakdown and interrupted them. Ri-heon quickly went to comfort his mother. But unexpectedly, his mother slapped him, directly blaming him for hiding the alcohol. I'm very anxious now, going crazy. I want a drink to forget everything. Why won't you even agree to this? Why, it turns out Ri-heon's mother was previously a famous actress. Because of having Ri-heon, her acting career plummeted. She blamed all her current misery on Ri-heon. If it weren't for you, I could have lived happily. It's not too late now. I can return to my old life. I can still live a happy life. After Ri-heon calmed his mother down, it was getting late. So he prepared to change clothes and take Se-jing home, but just as they were about to leave, Se-jing noticed on the clothes Ri-heon had changed out of there was hair that had fallen from Ri-heon's mother. So he secretly collected this hair. Then he also picked up a strand of Ri-heon's hair from the floor. Little did he know, Ri-heon saw everything clearly before they left the house. Ri-heon changed his plan temporarily. He took Se-jing to the concert hall to listen to music. When they came out of the concert hall after it ended, Se-jing received a call from his father. I didn't realize it was so late. I'm at my friend's house now. I'll be back before curfew. Sorry. After Se-jing hung up his father's call, he suddenly nervously started biting his hand. Just when they were about to part, Se-jing questioned Ri-heon again. What really happened to the real Ri-heon? Did he die? Ri-heon directly exposed Se-jing's hair collection and said he would fully cooperate with Se-jing to let Se-jing investigate thoroughly. But he advised Se-jing to stop here because he already had enough headaches to deal with. Hoping Se-jing wouldn't add to his troubles, when Se-jing reached his front door, he hesitated to enter. Continuously biting his hand, it turns out he had a double father. Since his father was a prosecutor, he had high expectations for him since childhood. So his father was only strict with him, even for absolute control over him. He installed tracking software on his phone. In such an oppressive home environment, he could only relieve stress through constant studying. Let me see. It's because you didn't listen to me that this happened. That day, the school bully as usual brought his lackey to bully Ri-heon again. They first showed Ri-heon the video of him being bullied to provoke him. Look at his expression. The video was quite exciting, wasn't it? Ri-heon couldn't swallow this humiliation. He decided to teach these scumbags a lesson. So they changed locations for the fight. Ri-heon said, quick battle, quick decision. He could let the bully strike first, seeing him so arrogant. the bully immediately attacked, but was knocked down by Ri-heon's head, but the bully quickly got up and punched Ri-heon back. In no time, the bully and his lackey were all knocked out. The bully was stunned. Are you from the Mafia? How did you know I'm the second in command of the 7-star gang? Kim Deok-pal just as he was about to beat up the bully. He was stopped by the homeroom teacher. I'm coming downstairs now. Don't move. When the teacher arrived, the bully tried to make a false accusation. Fortunately, the teacher had heard from students about the bully bullying Ri-heon and didn't believe the bully's lies. Ri-heon quickly said the bully struck first. He was just defending himself after the teacher scolded the bully's group. She brought Ri-heon to the office. She wanted to convene a school violence committee for Ri-heon. To punish the bully's group, she could make the bully drop out or transfer schools. The school violence committee required both parents' participation. But given Ri-heon's current family situation, getting Ri-heon's parents involved was almost impossible. Plus, Ri-heon wanted to personally teach the bully a lesson. Until the bully voluntarily apologized to him, so he asked the teacher not to convene the school violence committee yet. He would talk to the bully privately first. When he found the bully, he discovered the bully was with his lackey extorting money from 2 male students. Ri-heon's temper flared. Immediately he went forward, took the money back and returned it to the 2 students. After the bully's group experienced Ri-heon's power, they became much more obedient in front of him. Ri-heon told the bully's group to attend school on time starting tomorrow, or they'd get beaten up. Why should I listen to you? Damn it. Damn it. Hey, let go. Let go. Hey, bratzo, when adults speak, you should listen carefully. Delete all those saved videos. If I find out again, you'll be smelling dirt, understand? Why aren't you answering yes, yes, yes? Although the next day the bully obediently came to class, but he was half a class late after class. Ri-heon called the bully to face him. You need to come to school on time, otherwise it will affect the class, understand? Even though the bully had a temper, he could only hold it in. All the classmates were stunned seeing this scene. They couldn't believe when the two had switched roles. After the bully left the classroom, he brought his lackey to extort valuable things from classmates again. Unfortunately, he was caught by Ri-heon again. Ri-heon snatched away the cigarettes they had just extorted, crumpled them up and threw them in the trash and warned them that smoking is harmful to health. Also, even if they don't attend evening study, they must listen to classes on time. Answer yes, yes, yes. Ri-heon finally trained the bully's group to be obedient. Soon students in school were gossiping privately about Ri-heon teaching the bully a lesson. Although Ri-heon was good at dealing with people, he was really bad at studying. After the mock exam ended and checking answers, he found he had only gotten one question right. This made him very anxious. He wanted to ask Se-kyung to tutor him, but after Se-kyung saw Ri-heon's test paper, he was too scared to agree. This is completely beyond help. Ri-heon had to beg Se-kyung to help him with tutoring just as the two were struggling. They were discovered by 3 boys from the basketball team. They were particularly curious why Se-kyung was now with the stalker. After they left for Se-kyung to agree to help him tutor, Ri-heon promised Se-kyung that if he helped with tutoring, in return he could agree to one thing for Se-kyung. No matter what it was, only then did Se-kyung agree to help Ri-heon with tutoring. Ri-heon came to the bathroom and encountered those 3 boys from the basketball team. When they saw Ri-heon, they mocked and sneered, saying to keep distance from the stalker. After hearing this, Ri-heon snatched their basketball, demanding they have a basketball game with him. They laughed at Ri-heon for overestimating himself, but they didn't know that Ri-heon's basketball skills had reached coach level. Obviously, Ri-heon completely defeated these 3 boys. Have you ever seen me stalking anyone? Must you have seen it calling me a stalker without ever seeing it? Is it because everyone isolated saw Ri-heon using this method to fabricate baseless accusations behind his back? Humiliating and slandering others. For those who suffer this, it's violence. It brings indelible pain to people. You too. Stop gossiping and mocking behind people's backs. Se-kyung took Ri-heon's and his mother's hair for DNA testing. The result was obvious. The test confirmed that the current Ri-heon and Ri-heon's mother were indeed mother and son, but he couldn't understand why Ri-heon had such a big change. According to their agreement, Se-kyung tutored Ri-heon, but just after starting, Ri-heon began to feel sleepy. During their break, Ri-heon asked about the school violence committee being a good organization, but why it couldn't eliminate school bullying. Se-kyung said because the school violence committee was just for show and able to truly solve bullying problems beyond the school level, so the punishment for bullies couldn't deter the bullies. He also said if you want to punish bullies, you should report to police. Only by making them fear having a criminal record would they restrain themselves. But even if reporting to police, they could escape punishment by suing that they to suffer bullying from the victims. Ri-heon was speechless. What kind of bully protection law was this? He casually asked what would be the best punishment method. Kill them directly. Neither school nor law can punish perpetrators. Victims have no way to defend themselves. Most victims will leave school and hide. After a while, they'll commit suicide. But even if they die, it won't change anything, so might as well kill them. Desperately gather all kinds of evidence, get lenient treatment as much as possible. This is true face Choi Se-jing's true nature. Then they came to a convenience store. Se-jing saw pineapple cake in the store. Remembering what Ri-heon's nanny said about Ri-heon not being able to eat pineapple. Otherwise, he would have organ blockage due to allergies and could die if not careful. He wanted to test Ri-heon with this pineapple cake. But just as Ri-heon was about to eat it, he was still afraid of Ri-heon's allergy and stopped him. But unexpectedly, Ri-heon casually picked up a pineapple jelly and ate it soon. Ri-heon had an allergic reaction and couldn't breathe. Fortunately, they rescued him in time and his life wasn't in danger. Although Se-jing confirmed through DNA testing that the Ri-heon in front of him was the real Ri-heon. At this moment, Se-jing firmly believed the Ri-heon in front of him wasn't real. Because Ri-heon had said before he lost his memory if the current Ri-heon was real, then Ri-heon's nanny should have told Ri-heon that Ri-heon was allergic to pineapple. But from what just happened, Ri-heon had no idea about this. This shows that Ri-heon's nanny always thought the current Ri-heon was the real Ri-heon. So Ri-heon's claim of amnesia was a lie. I don't know why the test results also say you're Song Ri-heon. But you're not Song Ri-heon. It turns out Ri-heon had asked Se-jing for help before jumping off the bridge. But at that time, Se-jing coldly refused Ri-heon. But after refusing, Se-jing felt anxious and uneasy when he wanted to contact Ri-heon. He couldn't reach him. He feared his refusal became the last straw that broke Ri-heon. Do you want to apologize? I'll let you see him. You can apologize, then I'll bring him back. When if you help me, maybe he can come back faster. I'm willing. I'll help you. As a condition, you must also bring him in front of me. Song Ri-heon isn't dead, don't worry. So you must also give your all. Se-jing began intensive tutoring for Ri-heon that day. When Ri-heon came home after tutoring, he found a car without license plates parked at his door. He immediately sensed something was wrong. Then he saw two masked men carrying Ri-heon's mother out. Ri-heon immediately dropped his backpack and chased after them. Se-jing also followed closely. The two masked men threw Ri-heon's mother into the car. Unexpectedly, the school bully was also involved in the kidnapping. Ri-heon rushed up and fought with one of the masked men. Se-jing rushed up and tackled another masked man. The masked man in the car told the bully to close the door. When the bully saw it was kidnapping, he got scared and quickly got out of the car to escape. Although Ri-heon now had Deok-pal's fighting skills, this body strength still couldn't compare with gang thugs. Fortunately, he eventually controlled the masked man, but Se-jing was in a bad situation. He was pinned to the ground by the masked man. Seeing this, Ri-heon quickly went to rescue Se-jing. The masked man saw Ri-heon was difficult to deal with and prepared to pull out a knife to stab Ri-heon. Fortunately, police sirens sounded at this time. The masked men quickly fled the scene upon hearing this. Afterwards, police found Ri-heon to understand what happened. Although he clearly knew the mastermind was the secretary, Ri-heon said this wasn't a kidnapping case, just saying it was a parking misunderstanding dispute, and asked police to close the case. Ri-heon did this because he feared once police got involved in investigation, Ri-heon's identity as an illegitimate child would be exposed. This wouldn't be good for Ri-heon, but this didn't mean Ri-heon wouldn't pursue it. He would punish them in his own way. After Se-jing went home, his devil father asked about the injury on his face. He only said it was gang thugs who deliberately started trouble and beat him. He didn't dare mention anything about Ri-heon. Se-jing's father immediately wanted Se-jing to take him to the crime scene. But the place Se-jing took him to wasn't the crime scene. He saw his father carefully investigating the scene, and fearfully began biting his fingers. Now his fingers were all bitten bloody. Se-jing's father, as a prosecutor, immediately saw that Se-jing was lying, because there were no traces of people moving around here, let alone physical conflict. He questioned why Se-jing was lying again. What's been wrong with you lately? Did you get in a fight or get beaten up? It's because you lie like this that I installed tracking software on your phone. I need to know everything you do. I do this all for you. Due to long-term abnormal control from his father, excessive mental pressure caused him to faint at this moment. Se-jing's father urgently sent him to the hospital. Fortunately, there was no major problem, but Se-jing's father didn't intend to let Se-jing off. He found out Se-jing had been close to Ri-heon lately, and through his connections he investigated all information about Ri-heon and his mother. Ri-heon began investigating the secretary. He called OK Construction's customer service, asking if there was a secretary named Lee Mi-jeong in the secretarial group. But customer service told him no such person existed. He then found the nanny. But the nanny didn't have the secretary's contact information, either in the driver who picked up Ri-heon daily. Although he had received calls from Lee Mi-jeong, when Ri-heon called back, he found it had become a dead number now. Lee Mi-jeong had vanished like smoke. Ri-heon clearly knew that if he couldn't find Lee Mi-jeong, the danger would increase. The facts were as Ri-heon expected. Lee Mi-jeong learned the operation failed. She was very worried Ri-heon would come for revenge, so she asked Dong-yu to eliminate Ri-heon as soon as possible. Ever since the bully was scared by the kidnapping mission, he had been lingering around Ar-Hyun's house. When Ar-Hyun came home in the evening, he deliberately pretended to encounter Ar-Hyun by chance. Son Ar-Hyun, why are you here? Do you live here? Ar-Hyun brought Se-kyung and the bully to a coffee shop. The bully pretended to care, proactively asking if police had come to Ar-Hyun's house. After learning the police had closed the case, the stone in his heart immediately fell. Then, like a starving ghost, he ate all the cake Ar-Hyun ordered in one go. Learning the bully had only eaten cold rice yesterday morning, Ar-Hyun brought the bully home and asked the nanny to prepare a table full of food for him. While eating, he even said he wanted to stay overnight at Ar-Hyun's house. Don't you have a home? I do, but it's cold because the gas is cut off. Then go to a sauna, give him money, and tell him to leave. Where are your parents? Dad went to work out of town. Mom ran away from home. I also have a younger sister. She's learning skills at a hair salon for room and board, then goes to school, rarely comes home. After hearing this, Ar-Hyun's heart softened and agreed to the bully's request. Hearing this, Se-kyung was unhappy. I want to sleep here for 3 people to sleep. It's a bit small. But unexpectedly, this bully pushed his luck. The next day, he asked to stay a few more days. What do you want to do? What can I do? Just asking if you can stay at a friend's house for a few more days. Are we friends, you stingy guy? Didn't you also beat me like a dog? Being beaten like that by you is enough. Obviously, the bully still hadn't realized how much damage his bullying of Ar-Hyun had caused. He even asked Ar-Hyun what exactly he had done wrong. You devoured a person's soul, made him become inhuman. So he wanted to die. So is the person dead? Isn't he still living normally? One of them will die soon. You're a murderer, you brat. I'll just go home then. Unexpectedly, the bully got angry. Instead, he angrily ran to the balcony. Se-kyung followed and said he had really seen the world, never seen such a shameless person. The bully was in a rage. He grabbed Se-kyung's collar and was about to hit him. But thinking Se-kyung had a prosecutor father, he lowered his fist. Typical bully picking on the weak. Then Se-kyung said the bully came here to confirm whether police were investigating it. The bully immediately panicked. Were you one of the people who kidnapped Ar-Hyun's mother? It turns out when they kidnapped Ar-Hyun's mother, when the bully escaped, Se-kyung saw the bully's face clearly. The bully quickly defended himself, saying at first he didn't know it was kidnapping. When he found out it was kidnapping, he quickly escaped and called police. And ultimately, no one was kidnapped. After hearing this, Se-kyung was furious. He asked the bully back as long as the result isn't bad. No matter how bad the process is, it doesn't matter. He was so angry he wanted to push the bully downstairs. At this moment, Ar-Hyun suddenly rushed over and asked the bully where could he meet those kidnappers. Did he die? After Ar-Hyun's interrogation, the bully said the kidnappers were from the Dongsu gang. He only knew which hotels and nightclubs the kidnappers frequented. He knew nothing else to meet Lee Mi-jae. He must first find the kidnappers, but before he could find the kidnappers, the kidnappers kidnapped him first. They brought Ar-Hyun before Dongsu. Ar-Hyun saw it was his former subordinate who kidnapped him. His reflexes kicked in immediately. He wanted to go teach Dongsu a lesson. With the gang boss's skills, Ar-Hyun beat the thugs to the ground. Fat Brother decided to fight personally. Ar-Hyun knew Fat Brother was tough to deal with, so he used his signature move. Why can't I flip over? Did you gain weight again? Why ask such a sensitive question, damn it? Fat Brother directly lifted Ar-Hyun up and slammed him to the ground. Then knocked Ar-Hyun unconscious with one punch. When Ar-Hyun woke up again, he questioned Dongsu about the purpose of kidnapping his mother last time. Dongsu was also straightforward, saying they wanted to send his mother to a mental hospital. Ar-Hyun saw his former most trusted subordinate violating gang rules and was very disappointed. Are you still a gangster doing this as 7-star gang? Don't you even have self-respect? Is this why you became a gangster, so you created the Dongsu gang? What do you know? How dare you talk nonsense when Kim Deok-pal died? You thought the opportunity came when the timing was perfect. Kim Deok-pal was gone. Even 7-star brother was eliminated. Hearing this, Dongsu immediately got angry. Ar-Hyun thought Dongsu wanted Deok-pal dead so he could start his own gang. Facing Ar-Hyun's accusation, Dongsu explained that big brother Deok-pal was like family to him. Since Deok-pal's death, other gangs joined forces to attack the 7-star gang. At that time, 7-star brother was seriously injured, but for some reason 7-star brother left without saying goodbye while hospitalized. Maybe because the 7-star gang was attacked and fell apart. 7-star brother couldn't face his subordinates from then on. Dongsu lost contact with 7-star brother. Unable to find 7-star brother and afraid of other gang siege, Dongsu didn't dare use the 7-star gang name, so he had no choice but to establish the Dongsu gang alone. Although Ar-Hyun understood Dongsu's actions, he advised Dongsu not to do things that violate 7-star gang rules anymore, and to disband the Dongsu gang quickly. I think you're more like the Mafia. You're quite a character, kid. Do you think I'll disband just because you said so? At this time, Dongsu received a call from Fat Brother. Fat Brother had already arrived at Ar-Hyun's house ready to kidnap his mother. But he discovered tonight Ar-Hyun's house security had suddenly become tight. Facing this situation, Dong-ju told them to wait outside on standby first. Then he told Ri-heon his bodyguards were useless. By tomorrow morning, those bodyguards would be mentally scattered. Half would fall asleep, the other half probably couldn't even be found. Do you think I'll just sit and wait during this time and this time? Can I handle one high school student? I think you probably can't. Dong-ju suddenly realized he and Lee Mi-jaeyoung had both underestimated Ri-heon. He remembered Lee Mi-jaeyoung asked him to send Ri-heon's mother to a mental hospital. Then send Ri-heon to study abroad. Lee Mi-jaeyoung was really cunning. After all, Ri-heon was the chairman's only son. Doing this would not only earn the chairman's appreciation, but also kill with a borrowed knife, because the country she mentioned for study abroad was one where you could freely carry firearms and had chaotic public security. No matter what accident happened to Ri-heon abroad, she could completely wash her hands clean. But now, after meeting Ri-heon, Dong-ju felt Lee Mi-jaeyoung's plan wouldn't be so easy to implement. Then Ri-heon revealed all of Dong-ju's details at once. Most important point was Dong-ju's left leg cruciate ligament had been injured. Dong-ju was stunned because only Deok-pal and Fat Brother knew what Ri-heon said. Exactly, are you someone who knows your weaknesses like the back of his hand? I'll lure you to support your weight with that leg. At the critical moment, I'll shatter your kneecap. You'll never walk standing again. Actually, I don't want it to come to this. Finally, Ri-heon demanded Dong-ju disband the Dong-ju gang and bring Lee Mi-jaeyoung before him. Afterwards, he would give Dong-ju money to let Dong-ju return home and open a neo restaurant if he didn't comply. He would end up disbanding the Dong-ju gang empty-handed. Kid, if you're going to try hard, be thorough. Use the perseverance of grinding iron into a needle, understand? There's a saying about grinding iron into a needle: as long as you persist and work hard, even the most difficult goals can be achieved. That means let's work hard together from now on. Big brother, that grinding iron into a needle. Kid, if you're going to try hard, be thorough. I think that's what it means, big brother. You. Who exactly are you? I'm someone who keeps his word. You should know that better. After speaking, Ri-heon swagger out of the Dong-ju gang. At this moment, Dong-ju himself didn't know why he didn't go catch Ri-heon. After Ri-heon came out of the Dong-ju gang, he found Se-kyung and his father had also come here. It turns out when Ri-heon was kidnapped, Se-kyung happened to witness it. By the time he caught up, it was too late. He wanted to call police, remembering what Ri-heon said, that once police got involved, it wouldn't be good for Ri-heon, so he decisively gave up calling police. Just as he was worrying about where Ri-heon was taken, the bully found him. I heard the Dong-ju gang people are planning to gather at Ri-heon's house. Seems like they want to kidnap Song Ri-heon's mother again. What first capture Ri-heon, then kidnap his mother during this time? Song Ri-heon should have been taken to Shinhao Hotel. They also wanted me to be taken there before. After learning the specific location, Se-kyung quickly rushed to the address the bully mentioned. But as soon as he arrived, his devil father also came, following the tracking app on his phone. It turns out Se-kyung deliberately lured his father here, unable to call police. Currently, only his prosecutor father could save Ri-heon. Se-kyung's father was furious, learning the situation, criticizing what kind of bad friends Se-kyung was making. Then he was about to drag Se-kyung home. Se-kyung repeatedly begged his father to save Ri-heon and his mother. At Se-kyung's plea, although Se-kyung's father finally agreed to his request, the condition was Se-kyung must cut ties with Ri-heon. Not even allowed to speak, Se-kyung's phone must also be changed to a senior phone. Must it go to this extent? Mother is an alcoholic, father is dispensable. And his grades, you should make some decent friends. Forget it, just pretend he doesn't exist. It must be this way, all of this is for your good. For Ri-heon's safety, Se-kyung could only agree to his father's unreasonable demands. Just at this time, Ri-heon happened to come out of the Dong-ju gang. Se-kyung's father immediately went to find Dong-ju after revealing his identity. He demanded Dong-ju withdraw the men sent to Ri-heon's house. Otherwise, when caught by prosecutors, the Dong-ju gang would be completely finished. Dong-ju immediately panicked, quickly notified his men to retreat. Lee Mi-jaeyoung alerted Dong-ju terminated the operation, immediately came to find him. She questioned how Dong-ju had promised her at the hospital. Could he not handle such a small matter? It turns out when the Dong-ju gang was attacked by other gangs, Seven-star brother was seriously injured and needed urgent surgery, but the gang couldn't raise money for surgery at the time. The hospital was about to give up on the surgery when Dong-su was causing a scene at the hospital. Lee Mi-kyung saw him. Lee Mi-kyung happened to need someone who could help her with tasks, so she paid for Dong-su's surgery fees on the condition that Dong-su would serve Lee Mi-kyung in the future. And Dong-su also planned to use Lee Mi-kyung, this wealthy patron, to rebuild his gang facing Lee Mi-kyung's aggressive pressure. Dong-su promised on the surface that he would handle things properly, but actually he was still hesitating whether to accept Lee Hyun's conditions. Ever since Se-kyung's father helped Se-kyung rescue Lee Hyun's mother last time, Se-kyung's father only allowed Se-kyung to play with Jae-hun. Just because Jae-hun is a third-generation official's child and ranked second in the whole school. This guy's smile is so fake and affected. But Se-kyung, to keep his promise to help Lee Hyun with tutoring, Still secretly found Lee-hyun behind his father's back. He told Lee-hyun about his current situation and took out the tablet his mother left him that could make calls, saying he would use the tablet to help Lee-hyun with tutoring from now on. This day, Lee-hyun discovered the school bully didn't come to school. He learned it from classmates that the school bully was working at a convenience store. He quickly found the school bully. The school bully explained why he wasn't going to school, since he betrayed Dong-soo's gang. In the last kidnapping of Lee-hyun's mother, they want to make an example of him, this traitor. Now he's hiding from them, can't go home and can't go to school. But the school bully must go to school at this time. Lee-hyun received a call from Se-kyung. This is higher than I expected. Did it hurt when Lee-hyun jumped out? The boy unexpectedly discovered that his father had installed surveillance cameras at home to spy on him. Se-kyung, who had endured for over 10 years, finally exploded thinking about his father's perverted control over him. I want to make a friend, is that wrong? I play games with friends and laugh heartily, is that wrong? You promised me whether there's surveillance or not, you should keep your word. Why did you still deceive me? What? I've always lived according to your requirements, being a kind, righteous, and upright person. But even so, you still monitor my every move. Are my mistakes really that serious? So, you think you did nothing wrong? I haven't done anything particularly outstanding, nor have I done anything wrong. Dad, I'm not a prisoner. How dare you talk back to me? Se-kyung, unable to bear it anymore, wanted to end it all, but when it came to actually dying, he didn't have the courage. Helpless, he sent out a cry for help to his good friend Lee-hyun. After Lee-hyun understood the situation to relieve Se-kyung's pressure, he took Se-kyung on a trip during the weekend to relax. On the way, he saw Dong-soo and Fat Brother following them. But he didn't expose them on the spot at night. Lee-hyun prepared to find a hotel to stay. But because they were minors, the hotel wouldn't accept them. So Lee-hyun found an inn run by an old man. Deok-pal had once done a favor for this old man. Lee-hyun thought that by saying he was a member of the Seven Stars gang, the old man would give him a room, but the old man said inspections were strict recently and couldn't accept minors. Have you forgotten who helped you get this inn back? Even if Kim Deok-pal is dead, it doesn't mean the debt you owe disappears your remaining single testicle. You'll take it to the underworld, right? When the old man heard he had revealed his secret of being the single ball old man. He obediently handed over the room key. Then Dong-soo and Fat Brother also entered the inn. When the old man learned Dong-soo was also from Seven Stars gang, he couldn't help but complain about Deok-pal. No, if Kim Deok-pal was going to help me, then help me. Why did he go around telling everyone that I'm the single bald old man? He personally promised me he'd keep it secret. Did he also tell you guys that I'm the single bald old man? You know what? This is my first time hearing about it. After Lee-hyun entered the room, he heard Dong-soo and Fat Brother discussing who he really was next door and why he knew so much about brother Deok-pal before sleeping. Se-kyung talked about his father's perverted control over him, since he could remember being 5 minutes late coming home, or having even a slightly messy desk, or having wrinkled shirts, or failing to control his emotions would all result in severe punishment from his father. Now he feels suffocated just seeing his father. After hearing this, Lee-hyun understood Se-kyung's father's approach, but sympathized even more with the harm Se-kyung suffered. When Se-kyung fell asleep late at night, he secretly took Se-kyung's old phone. As soon as he turned it on, he received a call from Se-kyung's father. Lee-hyun first assured Se-kyung's father that Se-kyung was safe, and said Se-kyung would go to school on time. He would only communicate with his father when Se-kyung was mentally prepared. Do you think it's right for a son to fear his father? Damn it. Early the next morning, Lee-hyun called Fat Brother, arranging to meet with Fat Brother and Dong-soo to make them believe he was now Deok-pal. He revealed many details about Fat Brother that only he would know. He thought this would be enough to convince them, but Fat Brother actually thought he was Deok-pal's son. Alright, making you believe I'm Deok-pal's son would be easier to accept, that's right. You should have come to find us saying your brother Deok-pal's son. Good, from now on just call me uncle. Having gained the trust of the two subordinates, Lee-hyun asked them to spare the school bully. The two subordinates had absolute loyalty to Deok-pal. Even though they mistook Lee-hyun for Deok-pal's son, they would grant any request Lee-hyun made. Having handled the subordinates' matter, Lee-hyun and Se-kyung normally came to school for classes. Lee-hyun came to the classroom and had Fat Brother call the school bully's followers by phone, telling them to stop chasing the school bully. At this time, the homeroom teacher came to ask Lee-hyun and Se-kyung to come with her. It turned out Se-kyung's father had arrived at school. As soon as he saw Lee-hyun, he wanted to rush up and attack him, blaming everything on Lee-hyun for making his son so disobedient. The homeroom teacher understood Lee-hyun's situation very well and quickly helped mediate for Lee-hyun. Se-kyung also begged his father to spare Lee-hyun, saying everything was his own fault. Se-kyung's father asked the homeroom teacher and Lee-hyun to leave. He wanted to talk to Se-kyung alone. Unexpectedly, he wanted to convene a school violence committee. To punish Lee-hyun, he forced Se-kyung to say at the meeting that he was forced by Lee-hyun to stay out overnight. Upon hearing this, Se-kyung immediately fainted. Lee-hyun realized Se-kyung's condition couldn't continue deteriorating like this, so he decided to have a proper talk with Se-kyung's father. He said there are two types of parents who control their children. One type has severe separation anxiety, the other type has very strong perfectionist tendencies. And Se-kyung's father belonged to the latter. Se-kyung's father had no intention of discussing this with Lee-hyun. He stubbornly believed that everything he did was to educate Se-kyung properly. When Lee-hyun said Se-kyung was already depressed to the point of wanting suicide, Se-kyung's father was briefly stunned, then casually said treatment would solve it. If he can't overcome such a small problem, how can he succeed in the future? Is this how you want to send away your child? You bastard, I also know what abuse and violence are. It's not that verbal lessons don't hurt, the heart. Words can be as sharp as knives too. If wielded poorly, they can cause serious injury. That wound will last a lifetime, Lee-hyun warned Se-kyung's father. If he wants to save Se-kyung, he needs to accept treatment first. And asked him to think carefully whether what he was doing to Se-kyung was abuse. How dare you teach your elders how to behave? So-called elders should help children grow into a bright people. That's what real elders are. Go home and remove the surveillance first. How could this stubborn old man? Se-kyung's father listen to reason. After Lee-hyun left, he called the principal. When Lee-hyun came home from school, he found his mother having another episode. Since Lee Mi-kyung hadn't visited Lee-hyun's house for a long time, the medicine she gave Lee-hyun's mother had run out. Lee-hyun's mother was frantically shouting for medicine. I need to buy medicine, don't stop me. I feel like I'm going to die of anxiety. Go inside and wait, I'll go to the pharmacy and buy it. Really? You must buy it. Lee-hyun took his mother's empty medicine bottle to the pharmacy. This led him to discover Lee Mi-kyung's conspiracy. The pharmacist said the medicine in the bottle Lee-hyun brought was antidepressant and antipsychotic medication. Almost no one in the country would prescribe this medicine because this medicine is very potent with very serious side effects. Long-term use can be addictive. Once addicted, it becomes very difficult to live normally. In severe cases, it can even cause mental illness. Lee-hyun called Dong-soo as she left the pharmacy. He told Dong-soo he must bring Lee Mi-kyung to him. Shortly after hanging up, Lee Mi-kyung found Dong-soo. Dong-soo, considering Lee Mi-kyung had once saved 7 Star's brother, didn't arrest Lee Mi-kyung this time. He gave Lee Mi-kyung 3 days to find Lee-hyun herself. Otherwise, he wouldn't be polite. Lee Mi-kyung angrily screamed. Two subordinates dragged Lee Mi-kyung out. After Lee Mi-kyung came out, she happened to encounter the school bully's followers. They were preparing to find Dong-soo to demand payment for the expenses of chasing the school bully. From their conversation, Lee Mi-kyung learned they were Lee-hyun's classmates. So she thought of a way to retaliate against Lee-hyun. Looks like you were also bullied by him, right? Raise your hand if you're from the same class. The next day, Lee-hyun came to school as usual. The classroom atmosphere was obviously off. Some close classmates told him the school was about to convene a school violence committee against him. It turned out that after Se-kyung's father called the principal that day, he also held a parent meeting. At the meeting, he falsely accused Lee-hyun of luring Se-kyung to stay out overnight, continuously bullying classmates, and revealed Lee-hyun's connection to organized crime. He tried to unite parents to convene a school violence committee to expel Lee-hyun from school if the school couldn't achieve his goal. He would also hand Lee-hyun over to the prosecutor's office. Just as Lee-hyun learned this bad news, he received a call from the police saying the school bully's followers had reported Lee-hyun for school bullying. This was exactly Lee Mi-kyung's method of retaliating against Lee-hyun. Is this what they call the thief crying thief? Insisting on being a high school student is really not easy. Let's have a proper fight again. Lee Mi-kyung spent tens of millions to bribe the school bully's followers to have them report Lee-hyun for school bullying at the police station. Lee Mi-kyung, seeing her scheme succeed, came to show off in front of Lee-hyun. Lee-hyun angrily accused Lee Mi-kyung of using any means necessary, even giving his mother psychiatric medication. But Lee Mi-kyung was very cunning. She always prescribed medicine in Lee-hyun's mother's name. There was no evidence to prove that she wanted to give Lee-hyun's mother psychiatric medication. Since you know that no matter how you struggle, you're no match for me, then make a decision: study abroad or go to juvenile detention. The previous kidnapping of my mother failed. Now you want to send me away first. Whether I study abroad or go to juvenile detention, my mother will still be sent to a psychiatric hospital. When the chairman's wife dies and my mother goes to the psychiatric hospital, that position will be yours. Have you ever heard the saying, trying to steal a chicken only to lose the rice? I hope you stop while your head get lost right now. Lee Mi-kyung threatened Lee-hyun to voluntarily apply to study abroad. Otherwise, he'd have to go to juvenile detention, and she would send his mother to a place that couldn't even be found on a map. After delivering her threats, she swayed her hips and left triumphantly. Lee-hyun found the school bully's followers and urged them to withdraw the lawsuit, not to be used by Lee Mi-kyung, otherwise he would countersue them. But these followers weren't afraid of Lee-hyun's lawsuit at all, because the only people who could prove Lee-hyun was bullied were just the few of them. But to ensure everything was foolproof, they still needed to win over the school bully. After all, the school bully had fallen out with them over betraying Dong-soo's gang. To prevent the school bully from testifying for Lee-hyun, they found the school bully The school bully advised them to stop immediately, otherwise they would be the ones in trouble later. But they said this was a sure win because Lee Se-kyung was backing them up. The school bully asked them back since they wanted to sue. They'd need injury diagnosis reports, right? Yellow Hair proudly said they had already used the injuries from when the school bully beat them recently. To get the diagnosis reports ready, the school bully accused them of selling their conscience for money. Yellow Hair immediately became upset because clearly the school bully was the first person to bully Lee Hyun. Now he was pretending to be the good guy. Wasn't it you who said Song Ri-heon's family was rich and told him to bring alcohol from home? You also told him to bring jewelry from home. Song Ri-heon was so afraid of you that he actually brought it. You were so happy that after they sold Lee Hyun's family jewelry back then. They had a good time for quite a while. They listed everything one by one. The school bully was left speechless finally. The followers advised the school bully not to think about testifying for Lee Hyun. Otherwise, he would definitely be sent to juvenile detention. To Lee Hyun came to the police station to cooperate with the investigation. He wanted to find videos of himself being bullied to prove his innocence. But he discovered that all the previous online videos of him being bullied had been completely deleted. The detective reminded Lee Hyun that even with videos, he would still need witnesses to prove he wasn't the perpetrator. This makes it quite troublesome. It seems we must first control Lee Se-kyung to completely solve this problem. So Lee Hyun called out Dong-soo and Fat Brother, his two subordinates, and had them arrest Lee Se-kyung, but Dong-soo and Fat Brother had been watching the chairman's company for several days. Without seeing any trace of the chairman or Lee Se-kyung, however, during their investigation, they found 7 Stars Brother. This day, when Lee Hyun was leaving school, he received a message from the detective. The message said Lee Hyun's case wasn't finished being investigated, but the station had transferred the case to the prosecutor's office. They also found that Lee Hyun's father was currently abroad. Lee Hyun was eager to go to the detective to understand the situation. The class beauty who had a crush on Lee Hyun wanted to invite him to eat Deok-pal. Lee Hyun had no choice but to directly refuse the class beauty, although he also refused the school beauty. But to show his apology, he said he would treat the school beauty next time. This knocked over the class beauty's vinegar jar. Is she prettier, or am I prettier? No, in terms of looks, you're both beautiful. But maybe because the school beauty has a smaller face, her proportions look better. So you're saying my face is bigger? No, I don't really like small faces. This kind of face has enough substance. The features look cleaner and more handsome too. So you're still saying my face is bigger? No, that's not what I mean. I'm not saying your face is big. But the school beauty's face is really too small and annoying. The class beauty ran out of the classroom and break down Lee. He inside that women's thoughts were harder to understand than math problems. But now there was no time to think about this problem. He rushed to the police station. Just after understanding the situation with the detective, he received a message from the prosecutor's office asking him to come next Monday. The detective said at this pace of progress, Lee Hyun would soon be detained. And the reason the case was progressing so quickly was all because of Se-kyung's father's scheming. Originally, Se-kyung's father wanted to convene a school violence committee against Lee Hyun. But Se-kyung actively found the principal and canceled the school violence committee. When Se-kyung's father found out, he had the police station directly transfer Lee Hyun's case to the prosecutor's office. When Se-kyung learned about Lee Hyun's situation, he found the school bully. Guess the school bully and his followers must still have videos of Lee Hyun being bullied. He asked the school bully to present this evidence at the prosecutor's office to testify for Lee Hyun. But the school bully was still thinking that once he testified for Lee Hyun, he would have to go to juvenile detention. He even knew that once a school violence committee was held, you might be expelled. That's why he didn't hold the school violence committee. Doesn't he know that just saying you're the perpetrator could reverse the current situation? He knows everything, yet said nothing to you. To protect you, to let you continue school. You choose Se-kyung's words through the school bully into deep conflict. That night, the school bully found Lee Hyun saying he wouldn't testify for Lee Hyun. Lee Hyun said he never planned to ask him to testify. The school bully was very confused. Why don't you ask me to testify? Didn't they say if I testify, you won't have to go to juvenile detention? And all the followers can be arrested too? Didn't they say there's no other way besides this? Then why don't you ask me to testify? You clearly have no way to solve this, so you're going to juvenile detention? Hearing this, the school bully's heart trembled. He immediately knelt down to Lee Hyun. He said he recently discovered his father had left him education funds for college tuition when he goes to university, so he couldn't go to juvenile detention now. He needed to study hard and go to college. I'm sorry. I'm too scared, Lee Hyun told the school bully to rest assured. He wouldn't let him go to juvenile detention when the real Song Ri-heon appears. Then you can formally kneel and beg for his forgiveness. Have you eaten? Learning the school bully hadn't eaten. Lee Hyun brought the school bully home and cooked a table full of food for him. At the dinner table, Lee Hyun advised the school bully to stay as he was, not to bully classmates anymore, to work hard and try to get into a good university. Lee Hyun's repaying evil with kindness deeply moved the school bully. After sending off the school bully, Lee Hyun went to the hospital to take care of his mother. After treatment, Lee-hyun's mother's mental state had returned to normal. During their conversation, Lee-hyun's mother mentioned that 2 years ago, the chairman gave Lee Mi-kyung a house. Lee-hyun immediately told Dong-soo and Fat Brother the location. Dong-soo and Fat Brother rushed to arrest Lee Mi-kyung based on the location. But when they broke into Lee Mi-kyung's house, they found the house had been vacant for a long time. Meanwhile, Lee-hyun came to the prosecutor's office as required. The school bully also came to the scene. Lee-hyun was very surprised and asked why the school bully came. I should be here. I said I wouldn't mention your name. Don't you understand human speech? What are you doing? Acting dumb. You were set up by me. The school bully's followers thought he came to testify against Lee-hyun. They were proud for a few seconds when the school bully suddenly grabbed Yellowhair's backpack. It turned out Yellowhair's backpack contained a tablet with videos of them bullying Lee-hyun. Instantly, both sides fought over the tablet. But they were no match for Lee-hyun. Lee-hyun opened the tablet and was furious seeing the videos. Because the bullying victims were just him. These people weren't all bullied by you, were they? At this time, the prosecutor arrived with police. Lee-hyun handed the tablet to the prosecutor. The school bully immediately stepped forward to confess that he was the perpetrator of school bullying. Lee-hyun questioned why the school bully did this. Only I knew his backpack contained the tablet. So without me, no one could prove you were bullied. Also, if those videos weren't exposed, that pervert would keep those videos as trophies to show off to others. I'm asking why you didn't listen to me. Didn't I say I'd give you a chance? Didn't you say your father started saving money? I said I'd give you the chance to spend that money. Why didn't you take it? Thinking of you being locked up makes my heart uncomfortable seeing what they did. I think people who make mistakes should be punished, and only this way. Well, I feel I'm not so unfortunate. Blame it on your family's food being too delicious. Just like that, the school bully and his followers were taken to juvenile detention for school bullying. Even now, Yellowhair showed no remorse. It seems he needs some proper discipline at juvenile detention before leaving. A miracle happened. The school bully saw the real Lee-hyun and he sincerely said those words to Lee-hyun. I'm sorry. You could see the school bully's face was full of regret and sincerity. Afterward, Se-kyung demanded his father apologize to Lee-hyun for falsely accusing him. But Se-kyung's father not only refused but stubbornly believed that in Se-kyung's matter, Lee-hyun was the perpetrator while talking. He even wanted to transfer Se-kyung to another school. But Se-kyung firmly refused to transfer and said he would definitely become friends with Lee-hyun. You really are? Do you need to be kicked out of the house and abandoned by me to wake up? Maybe you will abandon me, but I won't abandon you. I will become someone who won't embarrass you no matter where I am. In a pride and proper adult, just wait and see. Seven-star brother learned that DBA has a son. He had Dong Shui and Fat Brother bring Lee-hyun to him. As soon as they met, Lee-hyun kowtowed to Seven-star brother. After getting up, he showed concern for Seven-star brother's injuries, saying Seven-star brother never knew how to take care of his own body. Seven-star brother was puzzled that he and Lee-hyun had never met privately. Why did Lee-hyun seem so familiar with him? My dad said. To him, you're like his father. Why did you leave us back then? Without you, can the Seven-star gang still be the Seven-star gang? Now I understand why they say you're DBA's son. Actually, Seven-star brother had already figured out that Lee-hyun before him was DBA. Meeting you like this by chance. Should I feel happy? Still feeling sad. Big brother knows I am Jin Deba. The living continue. The dead are gone. This is right. He stayed behind. To protect this kid at this moment, Seven-star brother finds it hard to describe his feelings. There's a feeling of losing Deok-pal for the second time after all. Deok-pal's body now belongs to Lee-hyun. He has a completely new life after seeing off Seven-star brother. Lee-hyun comes to his mother's hospital room. From the doctor, he learns good news. His mother has recovered and can be discharged anytime. When mother is discharged, Lee-hyun urges his mother to leave the chairman and live for herself. Go find a good man to live with. I haven't left the house in 20 years. I haven't turned a penny by myself in these 20 plus years. And you need to attend university. If I leave your father now. So you and Song Ri-heon have been bullied by Lee Mi-kyung but never dared to say a word. Think about it. On Song Ri-heon's graduation day, will chairman by really come? When Song Ri-heon gets married, will he be the man sitting at the main family table? He didn't even put me on the family register when we face difficulties. He's not by your side. He's never said a word. Such a person is not family. You should consider leaving him. You can do it. Lee-hyun's mother holds back tears and changes the subject. At this time, Lee-hyun notices in the distance an advertisement on a taxi. The ad reads, OK Construction is about to hold the world's largest construction expo. This means the chairman will likely return to the country to the taxi to the airport. It notifies Dong-soo and Fat Brother to come along after seeing the chairman. Let's settle the matter with Lee Mi-kyung. Got it? Let's go. Lee-hyun indeed spots the chairman at the airport and Lee Mi-kyung is right behind the chairman. Lee Mi-kyung just learned the plan failed when she sees Lee-hyun intercepting the chairman. She's so scared she runs away just as she's about to drive away. Lee-hyun catches her red-handed. Lee-hyun brings her before the chairman for confrontation. When Lee Hee-un reveals all the evil deeds Lee Mi-kyung did, Lee Mi-kyung immediately becomes furious, shouting angrily that Lee Hee-un is slandering her, seeing Lee Mi-kyung's panic state. The chairman immediately determines Lee Hee-un is telling the truth. Lee Mi-kyung quickly kneels before the chairman, begging for mercy. Lee Hee-un says Lee Mi-kyung should kneel and apologize to him. At the chairman's demand, Lee Mi-kyung doesn't dare disobey. After kneeling to Lee Hee-un, she still glares at him fiercely. Lee Hee-un directly picks up a glass of water and pours it on her head. Oops, my hand slipped. Then Lee Hee-un warns Lee Mi-kyung from now on, she's not allowed to appear before him and his mother. Otherwise, he'll give Lee Mi-kyung a concrete burial. Seeing Lee Hee-un's domineering manner, the chairman sighs that he's truly worthy of being his good son, happily wanting to put Lee Hee-un on the family register, but Lee Hee-un doesn't care about this registration at all. Instead, he lectures the chairman, don't you know what nurturing means? Caring for and raising, helping children grow into truly upright adults. That's what nurturing means. Someone who would abandon their child without hesitation when not needed cannot be called a parent. After Lee Hee-un leaves the chairman, I'll take a walk around before leaving. Go back quickly, I'll take a walk around before leaving. You stay here to help Deok-pal. Do you still read alligator as Arado? Who exactly are you? Dong-soo, didn't you know all along? After figuring it out, Dong-soo asks Lee Hee-un to meet. He asks Lee Hee-un why he didn't directly tell them that his big brother Deok-pal were already dead anyway. A funeral for a dead soul, I don't want to hold it twice. Wouldn't that be too cruel to you all, Dong-soo? Thank you for being my subordinate these days. Me to being able to serve you made me happy. No matter what from you return it. I will never forget big brother. So far, all the things Deok-pal and Lee Hee-un agreed upon have been accomplished. Lee Hee-un's bullying problem is solved. He made friends. To punish Lee Mi-kyung, he also protected his mother. In a week, the real Lee Hee-un's soul will return, then Deok-pal will completely die. Lee Hee-un keeps his previous promise to have tea with the school beauty. The school beauty says she wants to eat a couple's meal with Lee Hee-un. This straight man Lee Hee-un completely doesn't understand the school beauty's meaning. He readily orders a couple's meal after eating the couple's meal. Are we a couple now? Nope. Even non-couples can order this, I'm confessing to you. Lee Hee-un is completely stunned, thinking that in 2 days the real Lee Hee-un's soul will return. He prepares to leave this difficult problem to the real Lee Hee-un, so he tells the school beauty he'll give her an answer in 2 days. Finally, to fulfill his promise, Lee Hee-un brings Se-kyung to Deok-pal's memorial tablet. After he tells Se-kyung the whole story of the soul exchange, the real Lee Hee-un's soul also appears unexpectedly. Se-kyung can also see Lee Hee-un's soul. He sincerely apologizes to Lee Hee-un, blaming himself for his cowardice that led to Lee Hee-un's death. It turns out on the night Lee Hee-un jumped from the bridge, Lee Hee-un wanted Se-kyung to ask his father for help to send those bullies to juvenile detention, but Se-kyung didn't dare ask his father and refused Lee Hee-un. So Lee Hee-un thought of threatening Se-kyung to force him to help. Then I'll reveal your true nature to the classmates. Your kind, cheerful, smiling demeanor toward classmates. Isn't it all fake? That day in the gymnasium when Jae-hoon fractured his ankle. You were clearly the first to see it, but you pretended not to know, didn't you? Jae-hoon treats you as a real friend. But you're not, you're just someone who dislikes and hates people. Isn't that right? This made Se-kyung feel an unprecedented sense of exposure. He was even less willing to help Lee Hee-un. Please help me just once. When I reported to the school violence committee, didn't you say you weren't being bullied? You're also at fault, it's not all your fault. So that night Lee Hee-un chose suicide. Lee Hee-un sees Se-kyung's sincere repentance and forgives him. If I could be like you are now and like Uncle Jin Deok-pal, if I could fight against them, how good would that be? Try to collide, even if it breaks, it doesn't matter. At that time, I had no idea what to do. But now I know, I learned it from Lee Hee-un. I'll help you, not my father, and become your real friend. Don't get hurt because of your father anymore. You must stay strong, saying we'll be friends. Thank you. On the day when the real Lee Hee-un's soul returns, the real Lee Hee-un chooses to go to another world, giving up resurrection. From the day he jumped from the bridge, he had no attachment to this world. How could I take your place? I'm tired, I don't have the energy to live the rest of my life. But thanks to Uncle, I'm very happy to see myself living happily. If someone can live happily with my appearance, I'm already very satisfied with that. Thus ends my Gangster became a high schooler. I am the film narrator.